Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of the Clips of the Week. We've made it through the entire regular season and now we're ready for the playoffs to begin. Congratulations to all the players and coaches and teams that made the playoffs. Best of luck to you and to all of our fellow officials around the state with the upcoming playoff season. With that in mind, we want to look at several clips as we continue to prepare for the playoff season. With crews that utilize the center judge position, an extra bit of responsibility falls on the back judge for looking at blocks on the second level. Now, as we pregame, we oftentimes talk about blocks at the second level to be picked up by the back judge on running plays, but this can be a little bit more difficult sometimes in the center of the field. And on this first clip, we're going to get an excellent job of a block below the waist by a member of the defense against a lead blocker for the offense. So right here around the 40-yard line, we're going to see that the lead blocker is taken out by a member of the defense. And we have the back judge who has an excellent call on this. A lot of the times we think about low blocks by offense, but in this case, the defender goes low, the back judge picks it up, and also has excellent positioning on their flag. Great pickup by this back judge. The next three clips we're going to look at all involve hurdling. We have not looked at hurdling this year, but we did last year. In these three clips, we're going to get a great call on the first one, a call that should have happened on the second one, and a hurdling call on the third one that should not have been. So just as a reminder with hurdling, it's okay to jump over a player that's on the ground, but if your opponent has both feet on the ground, you are not allowed to hurdle over that opponent. So on this first play here, the quarterback's going to become a runner, and they're going to roll to the left, and they're going to hurdle opponent. This one's a pretty easy call for the wing official, who does get this hurdling call correct. So again, the defender has both feet on the ground, and the offensive player hurdles over them. In high school, this is a personal foul. This is the same game. In fact, this is only 5 plays later. This time it's going to involve the back judge rather than the wing official. Right in front of the goal line here, we're going to get another possible hurdling foul. Now this one isn't as clear cut because it looks like perhaps the defender is starting to perhaps dive as a tackle. But we can see at the time that the offensive player is attempting to jump over them, both feet are still on the ground for the defensive player here. So while it's not as close, this is a foul for hurdling by the offense. And again, this is a safety foul. We don't want players trying to hurdle because it can potentially lead to injury. So again, in high school, this would be a personal foul. In the first two clips, the defender had both feet on the ground. In this case, we're going to see a couple of players on the ground, and the runner is going to jump over the pile. And we're going to get a flag from both the center judge and the wing official here. And this is an incorrect call for hurdling. It is perfectly fine for this player to jump or hurdle over the players on the ground that are in a prone position. This is an incorrect flag. The next clip we're going to look at doesn't have any sound, which is unfortunate because it would really help us illustrate why this play is a foul. Now, this is a trick play, and to the coach's credit, they went over it with the crew ahead of time. And based on the explanation, the crew said that that was a legal play. And they turned this in for review. And what happened during this play was, and you'll see all of the players turn towards the sideline. And it was something to the effect of, check, check, or something like that, looking as if they were checking with the coaches about a play. And you'll see all of the players turn towards the sideline. And then a moment later, the receiver is going to go out for a pass. So let's take a look at that. And we're going to see a shift. Then all the players are going to look towards the sideline. And then there's a quick snap. And this is going to go for a long pass. Now, again, kudos to the the coach to explain this in the pregame, but unfortunately, this would result in an unsportsmanlike foul charged to the head coach. So in the rule book, it does say that football has always been and will always be a game of deception and trickery involving multiple shifts, unusual formations, creative plays. However, actions and verbiage designed to confuse the defense into believing there is a problem and that the snap is not imminent is beyond the scope of sportsmanship and is illegal. In our casebook, we would look at 991 situation B, and in our rule book, we will look at rule 995. So similar plays to this might be when a team comes out and says, we're going to take a knee, and then they run a play. This is an unsportsmanlike foul charged to the head coach. So that's enforced as a dead ball penalty enforced from the previous spot. One of the major themes that we have talked about all year is good crew communication, slowing down during penalty enforcement, and making sure we are crystal clear on our explanation of the foul we have. We want to take a look at two different clips here that illustrate the importance of good crew communication and knowing what it is that you're calling. So in this first play, we're going to get a run to the left, and we're going to get a flag from the wing official for a blindside block. Now from their angle, it certainly would look like potentially a blindside block. But we're paused here and we're going to see that the back judge comes running into the official. Let's watch that play again. And a couple things here. Number one, it does appear that the player uses open hands to push off and that this would be a legal block. We get a flag from the wing official, but notice they continue to officiate the play and signal a touchdown. Way too often we see officials throw a flag and they forget to officiate the rest of the play. And that's very important on this play because the result of the play is a touchdown. The wing continues to officiate. They signal a touchdown. The back judge comes in with more information. And after discussion, they go to the referee and let them know that there is no flag for a blindside block, which was the correct call. There was no penalty. There was no foul on this play, no penalty of 15 yards for the blindside block. The result of the play of a touchdown would stand then. Excellent crew communication. The next play is also another great play to show the value of good crew communication. And we're going to look at this at a couple different points in time. So this is right before the snap. And we're going to see the 12th player go off the field, highlighted here near the sideline. And then we're going to get a flag from the head linesman. Now, when reporting this foul, the head linesman let the crew know that the defense had 12 players on the field. This is 4th and 12. And given this information, the crew penalized the defense 15 yards for illegal participation. This is not illegal participation. If that 12th player is running off the field and does not participate, that is an illegal substitution. Now, had the head linesman said that, had they said the 12th player did not get off the field in time, then the crew likely would have enforced an illegal substitution foul and a 5-yard penalty resulting in 4th and 7. That would not have given the kicking team a first down. So that's really important to make sure how you report a foul to your referee and the remainder of the crew. But now let's go back even further. And what we want to watch is the players going on and off the sideline at the top of the screen here. So we got a player coming in near the 35. We have a player go out near the 40. That player comes back on. As soon as that happens, per Rule 373, we should have killed it right there for an illegal substitution. When the R player withdrew from the play and then returned, that in and of itself is an illegal substitution. So the snap should never have happened on this play. As you all know, I like to show at least one scrimmage kick in every Clips of the Week episode. And on this one, we just want to reiterate that the wing that leaves the line of scrimmage should not do so until the snap is secured, and it's not a full-on sprint. You are not trying to beat the ball downfield. In fact, if anything, maybe you're splitting the difference. And we're going to see why that's important on a play like this. We're going to get a fake punt. And as soon as the punter gets the ball, they're going to start running with it. And now our wing official is way downfield and is not in position to rule on whether the line to gain was met. Now, thankfully, our center judge here is very aware and is able to come up and get that spot, and the runner is going to be short. So again, let's take a look at that from the beginning, and let's watch how the wing official takes off immediately at the snap and in a full-on sprint. Again, slow down, make sure that the snap is possessed, and in a case like this, you'd only maybe be a yard or two downfield, easily able to come back and be able to rule on that line to gain. So just patience as a wing official when you're releasing. So we just discussed the importance of the wing official delaying their release until the snap is possessed, and then it's not a dead sprint. Now, we've spent a lot of time this season talking about the importance of the wing officials to look at blocks in front of the returner. This is particularly important when the punt is away, the ball is in the air. We want to focus on the gunner. In this case, we want to pay attention to the line judge, to the gunner that's in front of them for a member of the kicking team, and the two members of the return team that are tasked with blocking them. So let's watch what happens on this play. We're going to notice that the member of the kicking team is blocked out of bounds around the 45-yard line of the kicking team by a member of the return team. On the other 45, for the returner's 45, they're blocked once again before they're able to come in bounds by a member of the return team. So we have a player that's forced out of bounds. They are given the opportunity to come back in bounds. However, before they're able to do that, they're blocked once again by a member of the return team who is also out of bounds. This should be a foul for illegal participation, but not by the offense, but by the defense. The offensive player is given the right and the opportunity to come back in bounds, but before that happens, they are blocked while out of bounds by a member of the return team who is also out of bounds. So this is a foul for illegal participation by the return team. That is also an exception to the post-scrimmage kick, or PSK, penalty enforcement. So this would not be a PSK foul. And since this kick is a loose ball play, the penalty enforcement would be 15 yards from the previous spot. That would result in a first down for the kicking team. So just a reminder here that if a player goes out of bounds, they need to come back in at the earliest opportunity. If they're blocked out of bounds, we certainly have more lenient, and then we get a block by another player out of bounds, and that constitutes illegal participation. So we did not get the call on this play, and we want to make sure that when reporting this foul, that we report it very clearly to our referee and know the status of the ball, because this should have resulted in a first down for the kicking team. Well, that's it for this week's Clips of the Week. As I mentioned before, we will continue to have videos throughout the course of the playoffs. Once again, all clips have been vetted through Oregon State rules interpreter Kevin Hatfield. If you have any questions regarding the rulings on this, please direct those to Kevin. If you have any clips you'd like to share with us, please direct those to us on our email address there on your screen. Once again, best of luck to everyone with the playoff season. See you soon.